Hey everyone, this is Leanne from Of Love and Shiplap and the founder of Sublimate Tutorials and More. Please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss out on any new videos, and check the video description for a link to the Sublimate Learning Library app. Inside of our mobile/web app, you can access all of our free tutorials in our neatly organized content libraries, as well as upgrade for access to exclusive content, community, and courses that allow you to truly create, make, profit, and grow your craft business. In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to sublimate some PU leather passport holders. Now, this is an item I've had sitting around here for quite some time, and I just haven't really had a use for it, even though I really wanted to have a use for it. But I am excited today because a friend of mine and her husband are going to be traveling, and they are in need of some travel accessories. Now, the travel industry as a whole does $5 trillion globally every single year. And that number honestly surprised me when I was doing market research for our travel accessories niche guide. Within that, we have, of course, the different allocations of where money goes in terms of traveling. But in terms of travel accessories specifically, that industry generates $17.6 billion in the United States alone. This means that items like passport covers and travel pillows and travel jewelry cases and luggage tags and many more can be really profitable items that don't necessarily have a lot of competition. One of the things about these products is that people generally just get like generic options because that's what's always been available. But as we see people want to purchase things that represent themselves a little bit more, that are more personalized, that are not the same as everyone else's, we are finding that there is a lot of room for makers to capitalize on that and really profit. So be sure to check out the travel accessories niche guide, as well as the marketing guide for the passport holders themselves in the product library inside of the Sublimate app. Let's go ahead and turn things around. We're gonna have a look at our passports, get our measurements, and we will get this set up in Affinity Designer.
Our PU leather passport holder is as you would expect. It's got a little band inside and a pocket to hold your passport. We're going to get our measurements really quick. It looks like we've got 7 5/8 for our width, and then for our height we are looking at about 5.5. We can go ahead and get our design set up in Affinity and then send it off to print. Let's go ahead and set up our design in Affinity. If you are unaware, Affinity does have a brand new version that has incorporated Designer, Photo, and Publisher into one interface, and that is what we are using today. If you were using version 1 or 2 of the software, then your interface is going to look a little bit different than ours does, but overall the steps that you follow are going to be the same. If you want to create your own passport cover design from scratch, then you will open a document that is the size of the measurements that you got from your passport cover. Our passport cover was 7 5/8 by 5.5, for example, so you would open up a document in that size. Now, I've already created the designs for the 2 passports that we're going to be doing today. So I'm just going to be importing them and making sure they're sized accordingly and getting this set up to send off to our sublimation printer. You start by opening up a new document. You can come to File and then New or New Document. And we always want to open up the page size that we intend on printing on in the orientation that it feeds into our printer. So in this case, I'm going to open up a letter size page. I'm not sure if I can fit both designs on one letter size page, but we'll find out in a minute here. So I'm going to choose my letter size page, and the orientation is going to be portrait because that is the way it feeds into my printer. Now, underneath our document settings space, if there's anything you want to change in terms of your document units, you can do that here. The most important thing for sublimation is to make sure that your color format is set to RGB/8 and your color profile is set to sRGB IEC 61966-2.1. Now, this is the most up-to-date color profile for the RGB/8 color format. The only exception would be if you're using a Mac computer and you are facing color discrepancy issues with your sublimation printing, then you would choose the Adobe RGB 1998, which is the older profile. Keep in mind that your ICC profile for your printer, if that is applicable to your sublimation equipment, is not relevant in the document setup panel. That is relevant in your printer properties. So your color profile should be set to this by default. Now I always like to have a transparent background, so I'm going to select that as well. And once you are happy with all of your settings, you can go ahead and click Create Document. Now the next step is to import your graphic. You can do this by clicking on the picture icon in your Tools panel. This is your Place tool. You can also find that by coming to File and then Place. This is going to open up your File Explorer. I'm going to hold my Control key to select both of my passport covers and then click Open. When you see that downward portal with the downward arrow with the portal, you can click and drag your design, or you can one-click to import it at full size. Now, whenever I make a design that I want to be full bleed, I do always try to make it a little bit bigger. You can see here that I actually went with a height of 5 3/4 and a width of 7 3/4. And that was just to give me, about a 1/8 of an inch on each side of my passport, so I can be sure that I get a nice full bleed transfer. Now, I did mention that I already created this design, and this design was not anything super complex. I literally just used some map digital paper from Creative Fabrica along with an airplane clip art from Creative Fabrica, and then added in the little letter and the dotted line using my pen tool. Super simple. I have linked the airplane clip art below this video, and then the map is no longer available, but I did find a set that was similar, so I have linked that as well. Both of those are available, as I said, through Creative Fabrica. We're gonna just make sure everything is centered on our page. I don't think both of these will fit on here. No, they will not. So we'll do one at a time. You always want to be mindful of how close you are to your edges. I generally don't turn on print margins, but it's never a bad idea to turn them on. I don't believe that I'm close enough to the edge for it to matter, but just as a failsafe, I am going to rotate this. So I'm going to come to my rotational tools, and I'm just going to rotate it counterclockwise. I'm going to make sure it's centered in the page. You can see I've got that red and green access line that's letting me know that it's centered in the page. If you don't see those, you simply need to click the magnet icon that is up in your toolbar, and that will activate those snapping guides. To send this off to print, we simply go to File and then Print, and you're going to select your printer from the drop-down menu and then click on Properties. Now, if you have a sublimation printer that has special settings for the paper type or the ICC profile or anything like that, you would be establishing that in your printer properties dialog box. For the Epson SureColor F570 Pro, because it is a sublimation ready printer, there are no additional steps beyond just making sure that you have the right paper source selected. This is one of the things I love about this printer, that it is truly as seamless as just file, print, select your paper size, and go. If you are in the market for a new sublimation printer, I highly recommend this one. I've been so happy with it for the last couple of years, and it has no problems. It has the maintenance box, which is a consumable part, and aside from that, it's been incredibly smooth operating. I did get mine from Johnson's Plastics Plus, who has superior customer service, and I talked all about that experience in my overview and introduction video for this printer, so be sure to find that on our YouTube channel or in the Sub That Learning Library app. Okay, so for those of you who are using the Epson SureColor F570 Pro, you want to just make sure that you check your paper source. So in this case, I'm going to do my auto sheet feeder because that is where my letter size paper is set up in my printer. And this is faux leather, it's faux leather for these passports. And typically I like to use the rigid setting for that because it's not really it doesn't have the give of a traditional textile. I usually reserve the textile paper setting for when something is like truly very fabric-like. Hopefully that makes sense. So I'm going to choose the general purpose rigid. I don't need the print preview, so I'm going to deselect that and then click OK. Now the reason why I don't need the print preview is because there is one here right in Affinity Studio, and having the other one is just redundant. That would be the one that comes from the Epson Print Manager. We can go ahead and click OK and send this off to print, and after that we will literally just swap out our graphic here since we are doing two, and we'll have both of them printed. So let's send it off. Once you get your transfer printed, you're going to just trim the edges, and we're going to attach it to our passport cover with just a little bit of heat tape. So here's a look at our print. It's a little hard to see on the camera where the edges of the design are, but we're going to line this up nice and centered. And then you just need a few pieces of heat tape to really secure this. I probably should have left a little bit more edge around my page here, but we're going to make it work. You want to have a little extra edge so that you have a place to put your tape, because you don't want your tape to wrap around the front of your substrate, because it can impact the transfer. So I've got it just about centered here. I'm really trying to make sure we are getting that nice full bleed that we're going for with this. And I think we're good. All right, so I'm going to grab just a piece of heat tape here, and I'm going to rub it and then rub it along the edge and against the paper. This is my favorite little hack, so to speak, to make sure everything stays in place. Always make sure you rub it along the edge of your substrate. All right, there we go. We're going to add just one more just for safekeeping here, since I did leave so little space for the paper to attach. Once you have both of your passports ready, in this case because we're doing two, we're going to want to have blowout paper on the top and bottom. So I just folded one of my sheets in half, and let's go ahead and get these set up in the center of our press. Over here with blue, the Fusion IQ. All right, your transfer is facing down, your substrate's facing up. We are going to just smooth that out, put it in the center so we have nice even pressure, and push it on back. Now our passport covers are going to be sublimated at 385 for 60 seconds with medium pressure. My pressure is a little bit low, but I think it will be fine when this is all said and done for our passport covers. Now, this is just one type of sublimation passport cover, or a passport cover that you can craft in general, that is on the market. We also have the Saddle Collection leather passport cover from Johnson's Plastics that's designed to be done with the laser engraver. Both of these items you could also do with a white toner printer or DTF if you wanted to. And I have seen some other styles of passport covers for sublimation that are more of that like glossy leather type material. Not as nice as these ones, but there are some different options out there. So we've got just a couple more seconds here before it is done. And we'll go ahead and pop open our HeatPress. And I'll bring this on down so you guys can see. There we go. All right, let's have a look at our passport covers. We're just going to go right ahead and peel off our paper. It's not sticking or anything. Sometimes you do have that problem with faux leather products, but not with this one, thankfully. We'll get off this little bit of tape that's on here and have a look at our finished designs. Let me do the other one really quick. I love how easily this is peeling off. These are, of course, very hot, and I don't have my heat gloves on. Okay, there's a look at that one. There we go. Now I can hold this a little bit better. Our colors look amazing. I love how this design came out. We got great full bleed edge to edge. And there's the other one. Same design, just different initial. I love how these came out. Let's give them a second to cool, and we'll have one final look at them before we say goodbye. The link for everything we used today is below this video. There's a final look. Thank you so much for joining us and enjoy the rest of your day.